Celebrate with us because we just broke a year. Not exactly today. Actually, I don't even know the day. He'll say October 1. So, oh man, what a story, what a story. We got to start from the beginning, and I'm just buckle in, get it going, because this is gonna be long. I don't know how long, but it's gonna be long. I'm just gonna go through just kind of the beginning, maybe give you some insights on what changed and what happened, and highs and lows, and oh, this is gonna be good. So, we're gonna go from the very beginning of YouTube and see what happened, and I'll give you a secret that I don't think I'm gonna give secrets I've never shared before. That's right, secrets I've never shared before. So, while I made this, what is Bitcoin, I said to myself, well, let me do another Bitcoin. I was gonna do a 3-part series. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin mining explained, and then what is blockchain? Well, by the time I got done with the Bitcoin mining explained, I had 500,000 views on those 2 videos combined, and I was like, oh snap, I'm not going to be able, somebody's on the hunt, I'm not going to be able to finish the blockchain one. I should just go live, right? Because I thought YouTube loved live, and so I went live, and if you guys, I don't think you guys can even see this anymore, what you would explain is Bitcoin. So I uploaded this on May of 2016, okay? So Bitcoin, what was the Bitcoin price then? Maybe like $400 maybe? And I was like, I just wanted to explain that Bitcoin was like the internet back in the 80s. Like, right, nerdy people using nerdy computers, and then like have people that were smarter than me, like Bill Gates, get on there and say, yeah, it's pretty good. You know, and Bitcoin Jesus. This was before he was corrupted, you know. This was when he was innocent and young. Twitch says, oh yeah, baby. And so, yeah, I just wanted to explain what the heck Bitcoin is. So, again, I took a bunch of clips of what Bitcoin mining was and put it all together in what made sense to me and what it looked like physically. And obviously, you can't cover everything, but I just wanted to cover, like, the main things of mining and what it looks like. And I mean, look at that, that's insane. Damn to that. Oh my goodness, stop what you're doing. Of course I wanted to make a video about, you know, like massive hydro plants and like crazy stuff. We had all these empty boxes here, and I had all these racks. This was in our like 2nd bedroom or something in our place in Thorndale, and we had a pretty nice place. Why are you doing that?
This is weird.
Right. So, so basically what I did here is I just literally, Andy and me just talked, and you can hear us for a second here. People want to watch us build rigs. As lame as it is, people want to watch it. So, so I had to keep going. So we had to take it to the next level. Right. So, all in all, I did not make a blockchain video. What is blockchain? So my 3-part series turned into a 2-part series. And we got an interview with Ben. Just like, what the heck are we doing, right? What is Bitcoin? Why do people care about it? What are wallets? And we just kind of all chatted, and we had fun. So in the meantime, while all of this was happening, while these videos right down here, for 2016 and 2017, I decided to make Life of a Miner in the background. And I released it pretty soon after that. And you guys have all seen Life of a Miner. We're not going to go through this. But this was just a huge hit. And I wanted 1,000 subscribers. I remember I told my wife, I uploaded it at night, and I said I want 1,000 I want 1,000 views in a week.
Right.
In 1 week. That's it. Because, you know, all these other ones, right? 400, 200, 600. Like, I broke one with 1,000 views over here, but that's all I wanted. So I woke up the next day. I got on the train to go to the Apple store to get to work, and I refreshed, and I was like, oh my goodness. It was at like 600 views already. And I was like, dude, I'm going to hit 1,000 before the day's over. Right? So on my lunch break, oh my goodness, I didn't switch the video. on every like break, I was like refreshing, right? I blew past 1,000 and it just went skyrocketing. And I don't know if it was related to Minecraft or what, because it like when you typed in Minecraft, it showed up as like one of the top videos. So I guess that had something to do with it, but it hit 1 million views within the first year, and so well, I guess we are almost in the first year. So it went really good, and I was like, dude, this is great. People want to watch Bitcoin stuff
like that.
So Limitless channel is getting a Ryzen 3 processor. I just found it on the shelf randomly. Clearly I have no use for it, but he gets it because he found the Peaches Life channel, which is super lame. So if you're really bored and you want to find the end of YouTube,
yep.
as one person stated, Andy had a basement, right? And I was like, dude, we're going to build a mine.
It was a great little space at the time.
I couldn't believe he had it because he had 400 amps. Nobody has 400 amps. So what was the key to how he had 400 amps was basically a multimillionaire built this house back in like the 50s or something, and he never wanted to run out of power, so he had an own dedicated line. The whole neighborhood was not connected to him at all, and he had all kinds of stuff in his house at the time in the 50s, so he had all this extra power put in. That today would require so many permits and who knows what. So what we did was we built this mine. See, there's the 200 amp panel breakers right there, both of them. And one was for his house, and the other one was like just empty. So he's like, dude, you can run rigs down here. So this is, of course, underground. So we had, I don't think we shared it was in his basement, but
no, we were
yeah.
it was supposed to be some farm out in the middle.
Yeah, it's supposed to be out in the middle. There's a secret now, you know. It was actually his basement, not a farm or a barn or anywhere far away from anybody, but it was actually really close to where I lived in PA, so I could walk there. I walked my dog there, and there I decided to build basically all the junk, literally like junk, R9s and 290s, and just put them together. I had this old supplemental box that Jack from Apple, an old Apple employee, he was amazing. He started the digital gold with me when we wanted to do our first thing. Look at the Bitcoin price. It was at $2,000 back in the day of May, and we built all this in a day, and we were like, dude, we're gonna live stream from down here from now on, because Andy was never heard about Bitcoin and he was super excited. And you were in PA at this time.
I was.
Yep. John came to some of the streams. So all in all, between obviously the life of a miner, you get 1 million views. That's what, like $1,000
$100 or $1,000?
$1,000. It's like a penny per view. Yeah. So it was a couple $1,000s at this point that Life of a Miner had paid. And I was still working full-time at Apple, and I was coming home, filming a stream, going back to Apple. My wife was working. Like, things were crazy. It was nuts. I feel like it was 3 years ago. That's how nuts it was. But we kept pressing on and pressing on. And we must have been like a late night. Now, granted, Andy was just as busy, if not busier, than me.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he was busier at that time. And so the fact that Andy was even there was remarkable. So anytime we had him, like, it was just a blast. And, you know, he was a new miner and getting all excited, and he dropped some bank into this, you know. Thousands of dollars. And so as you can see, progression was happening. Now, this was still all of our equipment, right? Oh, this is when his card burned up.
You're more than
us. Whoa!
What was that?
What in the world?
What just happened?
What's going on in the mine?
And stuff has been flying everywhere. Can you...
yeah, so the water cooler blew up, and like I was so upset. I was mainly upset that it was like $150, and I didn't know how to get my money back, and I didn't. But so that's what was happening on the live streams, right? And so people were like, "Dude, these guys are crazy. Like, what are they doing? They're hooking up all this random stuff in the basement. They're getting shot by water coolers, burning. I mean, that was hot, like almost boiling water."
Oh, we got, hey.
Yeah. So what was Digital Gold at this point, John, to you? Like, I mean, it was a formation, but I mean, give me your opinion.
It was like
at
a
this
side
time.
hustle type of thing that
Okay.
obviously had potential to be something bigger someday. I knew that you wanted to somehow make this into a business, and we had lots of conversations about how we could turn it to monetize the whole thing in the big
Right.
industry. And some of the ideas were good, some of them weren't good, and ultimately we settled on hosting. But for a while, we wanted to just build rigs and send them to people.
Right.
That was kind of the initial thing, and then
Yeah.
we decided that wasn't the best avenue to go.
Yeah,
So-
we tried that.
right.
Yeah, we came up with like a standard. We built rigs and we sent them to people locally. Really, it wasn't
Yeah.
anybody too far away, but they were from like YouTube and stuff. And we just realized the support needed to keep a rig online at your home was just too much. One guy had it at his apartment. It overheated. He might be in the chat with us, but yeah. But that was kind of the next step from, you know, our discussions to making it happen. And yeah, I mean, I had left Apple, and the circumstances around that, basically, I didn't really get along with my managers as well as they wanted me to. And of course, I'm just like this entrepreneur in my head, so I'm trying to change the way Apple should be. And they're like, Jared, what are you doing? Like, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to just go on my own. So I just resigned when I got word that there was just some tension there. So, and of course, I had a wife, and we were gonna have our first child. No one's ever heard that on YouTube before. You're hearing it now. Thank you to all the super chats. Another secret. So she was working. I was working. I left my job, and I said to my friends, because they're my biggest supporters, and I said, okay, guys, I have about 6 months, I think, before the kid was born, and I'm going to give this a try. And if I don't make it in the 6 months, at least I did it before the kid was born. And now I can go out and get another job and just work a career now that I have a kid with, you know, a family, right? So it was really scary. I mean, it was scary probably for you guys. You're like, this Jared's crazy again. Doesn't he know responsibility? Right? So, anyways, so basically, I just gave it everything I could in those 6 months, and this is where I started wearing the space outfit. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I started wearing this pretty often, and being a spaceman. John joined us here.
Did you ever tell the story how you got the spaceman outfit?
Do they want to know? Look at the price.
Maybe.
Did you see the price? Right there.
$2,400.
Yeah. Look at that price. $2,400. No, John, why don't you share how we got the space outfit?
So, for Jared's bachelor party, when he got married a few years ago, we decided we had to dress him up somehow. And I asked our friend Mike, who you saw earlier, I was like, what should we dress him up as? And he said, an astronaut. I was like, yeah, we're gonna put him in an astronaut outfit. So I got off of Amazon. For his bachelor party, we just marched him downtown along the beach there, and he was going crazy. People were taking photos with him. Like, the kids loved him. It was a fun time. But I thought the suit was gonna be like a one-time use only thing, and you got a lot of use out of it. So it was a pretty good purchase, I think.
Yes, terrific purchase. They the best part is when they told me to put it on, they said I can take it off if I admit we never landed on the moon. No,
if you admitted that we landed on the moon.
See, it's so past. It's all I say.
That's
if
why
I
we got
admit
him.
we landed on the moon, which I do not, and I will not, so the suit did not come off.
Now we're going down another rabbit hole.
Anyways,
Conspiracy theories.
We should have a stream of conspiracies. Yeah, that'll take the channel to a whole nother level. All right. I left Apple, and I had a meeting in New York. It was crazy. Here's a secret about this. Where is it? There's this one right here. Okay. I actually had a meeting in one of these buildings up here. Nobody knows this. This is new to YouTube. See, everybody's getting all the secrets right now. So, at night, and I got there really early, and I got somebody contacted me and wanted to create a way for our original while digital gold was being built idea, which we're not allowed to share on the stream, but they wanted to take that concept and back it with millions and make it go everywhere. So I, of course, told them all the negatives because I'm a pessimist, and they didn't really like it, but shook hand. I think that was the time I actually sat down with my first millionaire. He had sold some phone technology to Samsung and had done very well, and so he was a multimillionaire, and I think that was the first time I actually multimillionaire, I guess not millionaire, but multimillionaire who had made his whole life off of just business. And he was young. He was probably like 40 something, and so it was crazy. So I had a meeting down here in New York, and I was in Philly at the time, right? So it wasn't a big drive, and that was amazing. Obviously, it didn't go anywhere because we did everything on our own, but it was just a cool opportunity. Oh, look at little Digi back there. Remember Digi? Yup. That was a desperate, like, Instagram thing. I wanted to try to get Instagram going. Follow me around Philly. That didn't work. Basically, I've had a lot of failed ideas. And so, if you learn anything, that you just got to keep trying. So, Andy's rigs were still running in the background here. And, like, look, like he's texting because he's so busy. And I was, like, all hyper on the stream, and he was like, I got to keep up with work. This is killing my time. Bitcoin's at $2,500. Like, we've doubled our money. So, like, things are going crazy. So I had my first client. It was somebody I knew, somebody I worked with, and he wanted a lot of equipment to start. He was going in deep, and he hosted a rig with us, 2 rigs actually, and I charged him fees. And at that time, it was an 8-card rig, and Andy said he would like $4 from the 8-card rig. And I said, okay, well, I'll keep $4 for myself. And his $4 would pay his electric and keep him some profit. Well, I got thinking, obviously, you know, the light bulb turned on. It makes sense now, but at the time, $8 8-card rig, I didn't know how to structure anything. Then I realized it was $1 a card. So I was like, wait a second. So I did the math, ran the numbers. If I could get $1 a card, I could potentially use 50% to pay the fees of everything that it cost, and then 50% to profit to keep, obviously, me alive, because if I don't stay alive, everything dies. So that's how that happened, and I tested the hosting for probably 2 months before I told YouTube about it, and I said, hey guys, we're hosting. So I bought an RV because a family member said I could stay there, and lo and behold, this is the RV.
Can't believe you used to live in here.
Yeah, well, yep. So this is actually really pretty in here, and this is where I moved my pregnant wife and myself. My friends thought I was an idiot again. Something normal, that's okay. I accept it. They think I'm crazy. So, but it was nice. We tried to paint. We clearly didn't finish. So we'll give you a tour. Oh, this, if you're wondering. See, like, this is why. Like, we had the cabinets torn off. We were painting, and we were excited. There was a couch here, and we were like, oh, this is going to be great. That's where we're going to have the bedroom and the kid. And this was obviously the bathroom right here. And there was a shower there. Was. Definitely not anymore. And so it was a rough time. The family member we thought would let us live there for a decent amount of time, but things went awry and led us up until, so we are literally at a year ago today, and I'm hosting 2 rigs. Right here, I'm actually on the property where the RV was. And I had spent every day preparing this RV as my home for my wife and our newborn, and it was hard. It was very hard. So it was beautiful where I was, of course, and we planned to stay there. We had ASICs hosted in that guy's house, and we actually had hosts machines there because it was too far from where Andy was. So it was crazy. So, but it didn't stop there. It got worse. So I had an amazing friend invest in digital gold back when we were doing rigs in people's homes, and I had used that money to cycle through into the next formation of hosting. And so then I used that to buy equipment for hosting. And during that video you just saw, oh John, you're not in it. So I have these 2 rigs, and I have this home I have to prepare and get ready because it was not an RV park, it was somebody's house, and I was putting thousands of dollars into it, and I was trying to start this company of hosting, and I didn't know how to do it. And I remember sitting like right here on the couch, and I was just alone, and I was like praying, how am I going to do this? Because I couldn't scale it. That was the biggest issue. The biggest issue was scaling. I realized I could host them, but I couldn't scale and keep organized with all that. So I met with a developer, and he quoted me like, I thought it was $500. Do you remember this? I told you this? For software that would allow me to scale hosting.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I think it was. Or was it 500 or 5,000?
It was 5,000. I thought it was 500.
Yeah, you thought it was 500, but it was. Yeah, you were off a 0.
which happens a lot. I'm off zeros. So yeah, $5,000. So I thought it was 500. So I was like, sign me up. He's gonna allow me to scale it because I was freaking out. I think we had 3 clients at the time, maybe 4, and I couldn't do it all. I could not keep up with it. And so, you know, I'm a believer, and we both are, and I just prayed, dear God, please give me a way to scale this. I cannot afford $5,000. I have got to support my wife. I'm having a child. I'm living in an RV. I have people who are relying on me as far as hosting. Should I go back to Apple? What should I do? And it was just the perfect timing. I did the right research on Google, and I figured out the programs to use in tandem to create a host. And once I realized it would scale with me, and I could spend a few $100 and get it, and spend more hundreds as I needed, I went live. So it's not over yet. Nope. Are we gonna make it till 5? Oh, we're making it till 5. I'm not that hungry yet, though. I'm having too much fun. Okay, so I was ready. I was full swinging. We were hosting. Things were exploding. Right here we are. We are exploding. Digital Gold was bringing in a good money. I was selling rigs, obviously for profit, to be able to buy equipment like electrical wires and stuff. But I always believed that the business should have more than like my personal income. So I was giving as much to the business as possible. And so anything I could buy to make hosting easier, that's what I was doing. And as you can see here, we were selling, oh man, these were a steal. I think we were getting these for like $3,000 and selling them for $4,000. Like we weren't even making that much, but it went nuts. So I don't know. I guess it was just the time. Look at these. Like I was stacking them. So digital gold was really getting into swing. Bitcoin was at 16 grand. Okay. Oh, I skipped a major event. So during this time, the child came early. A lot early. We went to the hospital. This is the hardest part. We went to the hospital because we were here in the RV, and she could barely sleep. I was working out here, and she had a headache for 3 days. And she said, if the headache goes for one more night, we have to go to the hospital. I was like, okay. So we went to the hospital. I hope she doesn't mind I'm sharing this. Yeah, she's fine. so we went to the hospital, and apparently there's this thing called preeclampsia, and it's like really dangerous. And back in the day, a lot of women died from it, and one of the biggest signs is a headache. So we go there to the hospital with a headache, and they're like, "You're not leaving until you have a baby." I was like, "Oh, there's no way. That's like over a month away."
Yeah.
Way over a month away.
It's like 5+ weeks away.
Yeah, right. We didn't even have a middle name, right? We didn't have any bags. We just like showed up at the hospital with a headache and wanted some medicine. And they said we're having a baby. Well, I was living in this. We still had our house in, I guess I could share it, Thorndale, which was 40 minutes away from the hospital. But we were moving out of there to the RV, which was Lancaster. And the hospital was near Lancaster, which was 20 minutes from our Lancaster house. But we were staying in the RV just for a night. Like, we still lived in Thorndale.
Yeah.
You still lived in Thorndale, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, this was not good timing at all. So, I'm starting a company. My wife's still at work. And we're having a baby. And we're living in 2 different places at once. And the RV wasn't ready to live in, right? So, oh my goodness, it was nuts. So, to give you an example, if you guys are not as self-employed and you work a job, you have this thing called FMLA, right?
Yeah.
And you can take some time off and you can be with your family and you don't ever think about work. Well, when you're self-employed, you have to think about work all the time. So, I'm literally like, my wife's having a baby, and I'm literally answering emails to clients. And nobody knew this. Like, maybe one client knew it. But we're in the hospital for days, and we come back, and then we're back in the hospital. And then our kid has to be in the hospital for what, like 2 weeks?
Couple weeks,
Yeah. So our kid was not even ready to be on this earth. So we had to keep him in like an incubator. And they basically had to grow him in there with all these machines and medicine and the grace of God, and it was incredible. So the kid is strong and healthy now. It's amazing, but it was the lowest, awfulest, craziest time of my life, and I had to move. We had an RV. I needed a job, and obviously, like, everything was falling apart. But the business was still going, and I had to keep the business going. So that was where I was gone from YouTube for weeks at a time, because the business came first, and I had to get the business going because it would take care of my family. And I didn't have millionaire investors like dropping what people think that.
Yeah. No.
No, it's
No
a
investments.
couple $1,000s is all that we had to get going. We didn't have millions of dollars poured into any of this. So the clients were just entrusting us in a basement, hosting these rigs for them, because I guess they believed in what we were doing, and they believed that we were honest, and we are honest, so I guess that helps. But, oh, man. So it was rough. It was really rough. And as you can see in this video, we were hosting these rigs, and it just... then we didn't have a place to live because the family member we were with kicked us out of the RV, right? So we weren't allowed to live in the RV. We just had a newborn. My wife had to go back to the hospital because of health issues, and I was starting a business. So yeah, so what did we do? We traveled. So we had all the rigs. We had rigs in Pennsylvania. We had rigs in Kentucky, and we were just traveling around while my wife went to the hospital and stayed at family and friends' houses because we didn't know what the heck we were doing, right? So my life was a complete mess, but the business was booming, so I had to keep going, right? People wanted rigs. I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
So then we had an amazing friend, Trey. He let us use the barn. As you guys know, this is pretty much going to bring us to where we are today. But we built this barn. He had this barn. We put our rigs in there like we had before. we were trying to sell. I remember we were trying to sell station number 1. We're like, who wants it?
Who wants the top spot?
It's sold. So clients have come and gone. Some of these clients that own these rigs are now gone. And it's just, yeah, that's very true. Yeah, clearly rough on the family. And so we were building these rigs and we were telling YouTube how to do it, and the stream was going pretty good. And we sold out of this. We combined resources between this facility and the Pennsylvania facility, and we weren't sitting on a whole lot of capital, but we were sitting on enough to get the bit bunker. So sure enough, that's right, we put obviously the profits from the sale of the rigs and the fees, you guys can do your own math, to build the bit bunker. And as you guys know, watch the bit bunker video, you can see we started from nothing and went into this. And so we had a lot of employees, well as contractors. John left because things were booming, and John took a big risk in his life, and then it just flatlined. So now John's probably going through the low of his life.
No, I'm good.
He's good.
I'm good.
He doesn't have a kid on the way, so he's okay so far. And man, it was just, that's what happened in a year. Wow, we just summed up the whole year.
Would you recommend someone starting their own business?
No.
Whoa.
I would not. I am not one of those guys that is going to get on there and say, get out of your butt and go start a business. I'm not. No. I don't believe it's for... I believe
not for everybody.
It's for very few people.
Okay.
Because it's crap. And unless it's like your dad's going to give you a business,
yeah,
it's awful. There's no security. I mean, literally, most of you just have to show up to work and you get a paycheck. Like, just show up. Yeah, you got to do something, but really, it's just showing up and you get a check. Us, like, we might not get a check at all, or we have to work for months without any pay and just hoping for that one day that you're going to get a couple $1,000s, which only spread out is like hardly anything. So, by no means are we killing it in here. I mean, we're doing well enough to just survive in this market, and we're surviving in a down market, which says something good about what we have, right? We have something good enough.
We haven't shut off the machines like some people have, so...
We survived this hard time. So, yeah, all that in a year. So, no, I would not recommend starting your own business. And I did it. We did a year.
Yep.
So, we still have to make it 4 more years, though. We got 4 years to go.
Crypto isn't going anywhere.
No, it's not going, but... So, no, we're not doing big sales. No, we're not selling rigs out the wazoo. No, we're not building in 5 different facilities. And no, our emails aren't off the hook like they were. And life's crazy. Yes, we're just chilling out on YouTube, hanging out with you guys in the random part of the day because we have time to kill, because we're just waiting for our current clients to either tell us they're shutting the rigs off, which somebody did today. 8-card rig that we just lost. And obviously that hits our income when people shut off their rigs. And I don't want anybody to be in a contract because I didn't come from money, and I don't want people to feel like they have to give us large amounts of money in contracts to get stuck in something they don't want to be in.
Right.
So
that's what sets this place apart from the other people. No contracts.
Right.
You want out, you get out.
Full access, 100% profits. I mean, I just literally wanted people to mine the way you and I would mine. Anybody would mine. So, wow. As a Minnesota, you're the last one paid and the first one sued. Yes, that is so true. That's from Twitch. So, anyways, wow. Not to put a damper on anything. I know that ended in a very low point, but I just wanted you guys to know that anytime you saw an absence on YouTube, or maybe I'm absent on YouTube, or you're wondering what is Digital Gold doing with his life, like, it just was, I was with some hard times, and I might be going through some hard times again, and that's just part of this adventure. So we'll see where it ends up. We're still going. We're gonna make it another month, and
thanks to your generosity, we have dinner tonight.
Yes.
So, well, it was gonna be ramen noodles, but
do you really want to go to dinner tonight?
I mean, we'd have to film it if we're gonna do it.
I can tell Ruth Ann we're going with dinner's paid. You want to go?
Okay.
What day is it? It's Wednesday. Of course, it's the dinner.
Oh yeah.
John, we're going to dinner tonight.
All right. Any recommendations from people? I heard Sizzler earlier. I don't think we have one of those around here anymore.
We should do it live, at least for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go live at dinner. Thanks to all of you super chats. Hey, should we make you the star of the show? Come here, Mika. Come here, Mika. Hi, Mika. This is how you get 40,000 subscribers and 6,000 views a video. Just have a beautiful dog. I'm not making fun of competition, I promise. It's totally a lie. Okay, we're gonna go to dinner because it's time for dinner. Mika, you want some dinner? You want some food? Okay, you guys are awesome. I don't know how else to end it because other than thank you.
Yeah, it's been fun.
They're the reason we're here.
That's right.
Literally, the people through that lens, in that wire, through the transcoder, live on the YouTube, they are the reason that we're sitting here right now.
Yep.
I don't take that lightly.
No, it's
It's humbling.
It really is. So thank you guys.
We're gonna be back. We're gonna go live at dinner. We're going live at dinner. Thank you. Love you guys.